Be it further resolved that a copy of this resolution be given to the family and a copy
And as I jump into this, I'm going to just give you a little background on myself. I don't come from this type of a business. I was originally in the pest control business. I had an assisted living home business for a while. And when my brother first introduced me to this, I had a lot of questions. And so what we're going to share with you today is a lot of those questions I had, and we're going to get a lot of those answered for you. But what we're going to cover is what's going on since COVID. Okay, the economy has changed, and it's not really changed for the better. We see a lot of people that are struggling right now. There's millions of people that can't even cover a $400 emergency expense. And we're also going to cover what the future looks like and how you can change it in a positive way and really have a good outlook for the future. We want to also share with you, the people today are focused on protecting what they have. And we want to show you how we can do something different, create an income, leave a legacy, create generational wealth. Okay. And also, we're going to learn a 5,000-year-old secret that we can now use. It's something that the wealthy have used for generations and that anyone can use now. We can obtain financial freedom. We can live our dreams, literally do anything we want with what we're going to show you. We're going to have a special bonus for you at the end as well. So we're going to start by asking this question. If you had this $400 emergency expense, would you be able to cover it? Right now, nearly half of Americans can't cover that expense. They're going to have to rely on credit cards, borrowing money, or even selling stuff if an event like that arose. And when we look at the numbers, it's not just one area. We're seeing higher prices in groceries, 343%. And as you look at these numbers, do me a favor, think about your own wages, your friends and family. Have your wages gone up 343% in this 23-year period? I know for me and a lot of the people around me, the answer to that is no. Same with water and sewer. This is stuff we absolutely have to have. Over 185% here. We've got college tuition 690%. This is crazy. These numbers are way out of line with the increase in our wages. Our wages aren't keeping up with this. We're not going into this chart in detail, but there's a couple points here that I want to make. First, it's going in the wrong direction. We keep losing value on our dollar year after year after year. In 1971, Nixon closed the gold window. He stopped this convertibility of US dollars back to gold, and it created what we have today, which is a fiat currency. It means it's not actually backed by anything. As they print more and more dollars, it devalues the dollars that are already there. And so we're seeing the effect in the inflation. We see that this inflation, the wages aren't keeping up, especially this last couple of years. And so people are falling farther and farther behind. They're having to rely on credit cards. The savings, this is something that, this really alarming. If we look at the savings, people are not putting as much money into savings, over half of what it used to be. And this was for decades. They were saving around 9%. Now it's not even at 4%. Okay, so when we see the amount of money going into savings, and then we see this record high credit card debt, and then I saw today that the U.S. debt on just the interest alone on our U.S. debt is over $1 trillion now. And so the credit card debt is across the board. It's not just one area. The younger generation isn't feeling it so much, but once you get into the credit card debt, it's hard to get out of it. And you see even 75 and older, they're at the highest credit card debt. And so what can we do about this? We were warned about this a while back. Rich Dad, Poor Dad. It came out in the early 90s. It teaches what the wealthy teach their kids that the poor and middle class aren't doing. And then Cash Flow Quadrant. I love this book. I read this about 15 years ago, and it really opened my eyes because I was self-employed. I was in that self-employed category. This is Robert Kiyosaki here. He's the guy that wrote those books. And in Cash Flow Quadrant, we learn we learn an important thing here. The active income on the left side, that means you have to work in order to create your income. If you're not working, you're not creating income. On the right side, passive income, right? The big businesses, 500 employees or more, you've got a big team working. You've got the investor category, okay? On the left side, you got employee and self-employed. Well, 10% of the people control 90% of the wealth on the right side. Okay, so the question that I had, and the question a lot of people have, how do you get to the right side? Okay, when we're taught, go to school, get a job, being self-employed, I thought I was, doing the right thing there. I was getting by, but at the end of the year, by the time you pay your taxes and all the expenses, there's not a lot left. And so what we want to do right now is focus on the I. How do just the average person get over there to the I category if you're not over there already? And we can start today. We can actually do that today. And what we're going to show you here is the secret of sound money. Now, if you're new to gold and silver, the first question I asked my brother when he invited me to look at this, Chris, what do you do with gold and silver? I knew it had value, but I didn't have any idea what the value of that was. And the governments of the world, the big financial institutions of the world, they're stockpiling gold and silver at record pace today. There's even governments of the world today that are backing their currency by gold again. And so now everybody can participate. This is not just a secret for the wealthy now. Everybody has this information, but we need to help spread the word because, right now we don't have the extra money. We don't have, the resources. So how does the average person do it? How can we immediately start getting over there to that other side? Well, the power of gold and silver is really simple. And this is something I really wish somebody had taught me in high school or in college. Okay. Through the years, none of my financial professionals ever taught me about gold and silver. But look at this example. This goes back to 1965 when silver, okay, just 1 ounce of silver was equal to $1. And at that time, a new Mustang was $2,500. Now, we all know the Mustang, the inflation had effect on that. So Mustangs today are not $2,500, but with the same amount of silver, look what happens. You can actually buy 2 brand new Ford Mustangs and have room for upgrades in there. Okay, this is huge. This is not hard to understand, but this should be taught at an early age. And it's the same with gold. Look at this example. The standard house back in 2000 was $169,000. Now, the equivalent of that was 626 ounces of gold. Gold at that time was about $269 an ounce. Well, look at what happens just 23 or 21 years later. That same amount of gold has the purchasing power of 1.2 million. So the houses had inflation. They may be doubled or tripled in value, but the purchasing power of gold increased even more. So you have more purchasing power than you did back in 2000. So literally what we're saying is convert $1 into gold or silver and you lock in your purchasing power. When you need to convert it back, you have the same buying power as today. We see when we go to the grocery store today, you can't get as much with $20 as you could 6 months ago or a year from now or a year ago or 5 years ago. Well, we've got to expect the same is going to happen a year from now, 5 years from now. So we can lock in our purchasing power. And so this is what the value of gold and silver is. And this is what 7K is all about. So 7K Metals is created. We want to help each other. We want to create financial independence, preserve our wealth, and really live an exceptional life. And this is through good or bad economic times. Now, the company started by these 4 guys. These guys saw firsthand how the gold and silver industry caters to the wealthy. Roger Ball's a billionaire. He started multiple companies over the years. He's an inventor as well. He's invented a lot of cool stuff over the years. Zach, Josh, and Richard are all multimillionaires. And like I said, they saw firsthand the gold and silver industry caters to the wealthy. So they created 7K Metals, and they believe this should be a whole lot easier than it is. Average people should have access to the information. Average people should have access to gold and silver without having to have high minimums and spend a lot of money. When you buy gold, a lot of places you have to buy $5,000 or $10,000 to get a really good deal. And so how does the regular person do it? Well, here at 7K, we have even fractional gold and silver. You can start with $1 today and convert it into real physical gold and silver. Now we have physical gold and silver that you can hold. I've got a 10-ounce maple leaf here, things like this. But in our Sound Money wallet, this is a private vault set up by 7K and Sound Money that we can literally just click a button and convert our cash into real physical gold and silver. At any time, we can just click a button and convert it right back to cash. Now, the nice thing is there's no fees up to $50,000 in your account. And at any time, if you have full ounces, you can just click a button and they'll send it to you. Because when you're buying the physical gold and silver, they're actually taking real physical gold and silver, setting it aside with your name on it, and it's held there in the private vault, just like if you had it in your own safe. Okay, so this is Sound Money, and you can buy in any amount, $1, $5, $50,000, it doesn't matter. And it's literally a great way to just lock in that purchasing power on your dollar. So when we talk about bullion, like what we've been talking about so far is bullion. If you're new to gold and silver, there's two different things. There's bullion and collectible coins. Now, bullion is a great defensive strategy. It comes in bars, rounds. We have it in the Sound Money wallet. But the defensive strategy, you got to have an offensive strategy too. And so what we're going to look at is collectibles. Now, I didn't even know collectible coins existed when I first started, but collectible coins, these are graded by a third-party grading company. They look at them under magnification. They get put in a special case. They're barcoded. There's a whole little process that goes into it, but they're going to be low mintage. They're going to have incredible design. You see this egg coin. This has actually got real art, stained glass artwork combined into the real silver. And then they're going to have sometimes historic significance and great story with them all the time. So when we look at collectibles, this is one of the ways that wealthy preserve their wealth, and fine art is one of those areas. Rare coins, gold, usable precious metals. These are in the top 5 of the main assets the wealthy use, that and exclusive real estate. Now, when we look at collectibles, we see them in all different areas. That fine art, we've got comic books, trading cards, postage stamps, all these different things, they appreciate in value, not like the other, like if you just have a comic book that's been beat up or it's been, over the years, it's been, not taken care of. This one's graded 9.6 out of 10 on the comic book grading scale. Super rare. Okay. Same with the Mickey Mantle card. $12.6 million is just sold at auction this year for a baseball card. All right. Now we do the same thing with coins. We don't have comic books and trading cards and stamps, but we have collectible coins, and these are amazing. I bought the Montana butterfly coin in 2020 when it first came out. It already has a market value of $1,500. Right. Same with Julius Caesar coin. There's only 500 of those minted, and the market value is over $1,000 on them just 2 years later. Okay, so bullion holds its value over time. Collectible coins are increasing in value to appreciate and grow your wealth. Okay, so both the Julius Caesar coin and Montana butterfly, these are exclusive just to 7K Metals members. 7K has a whole bunch of collectible coins that you can only get as members. Now, one of the ways they do it, this is an optional program. It's called our autosaver. You can have a coin shipped to your house every single month automatically. It's a great way to just set your savings up on autopilot. And these are really fun to collect too. We've got a whole bunch of options in there. And again, they always come in graded form. This is one of the gold notes. This is where they combine real art with physical gold. Okay. And then the other coins we have in there, I want to use the Silver Eagle as an example. I've actually been on the Silver Eagle autosaver since I started with 7K. Now, if you'd have bought just one of these coins every single month from the time they came out in MS70 form, like we have here at 7K, you would have a collection today worth $1.6 million. Now, our price here at 7K is $115 per month. If you add that up over that same time period, you've only spent about $50,000 on that collection worth $1.6 million. Okay, now the other thing with our autosaver is they have loyalty points. every time you get one of the autosavers, you're going to get loyalty points that add up, and they have a special shopping cart. All the coins in there are free with loyalty points. Okay, so you get extra silver with the autosaver. This is the autosaver is one of my favorite benefits here with 7K. Now, when it comes to the collections, this is the 50 state animal series all put together. Now, these coins originally came out at $139 each. I showed you the Montana butterfly and the increase in value on that. Once you have all 50 coins in the set, it increases the value of the set. Right now, they estimate over $20,000. Curtis Harlan was one of the first to put together the 50 state animal series, and he's also one of our top leaders here at 7K. We're going to show you how you can earn income with 7K here in just a few minutes. He's one of our top income earners. He has an amazing team here at 7K. And this is my brother, Chris. This is the guy, he invited me to 7K years ago. And if you look at this picture, keep in mind, when we started in 7K, neither one of us owned gold and silver, right? Now, this is going to pass from his kids to grandkids. This has created a legacy. On the left side, you see the offensive strategy. That's those collectible coins. On the right side, bullion. That's the defensive strategy. And, it's just been really fun working with my brother over this last, 6.5, almost 7 years now. Now, if you're new to this, if some of this, if you're not really understanding what I'm talking about, it's okay. The training here is going to teach you how to be a professional when it comes to gold and silver. It's not pushing you to buy any one thing or another. It's going to show you all the different details of gold and silver, what to buy, why to buy it, collectibles. It's going to teach you the grading system, how your coins get graded, all this kind of stuff. And so really a great benefit here is just to learn everything there is to know about gold and silver that they're teaching the wealthy, but the poor and middle class, we're not being taught. So now I mentioned a special bonus from earlier. We're going to talk about leverage and how you can build a big business. We talked about the I category. How do you get into the B category, where you've got a whole team of people working together to help you get into that right side, where 10% of the people create 90% of the wealth. Now, also too, how you can create a passive income. Okay. Right now, we know cash flow is a problem for a lot of people, but with passive income, whether you work or not, you're still getting paid. All right. So this is going to help you create a lasting legacy for you and your family. And right now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn some time over to Miss Emily Manuel. Emily has been with the company a couple of years now. I first met her on one of the getaways that 7K has at the Salmon River Lodge. She's awesome to work with. She's a gold associate, almost executive gold here. You're going to see what that means in just a second. But she's got an amazing team. She's one of our top income earners, and she's going to show you now how to build this legacy wealth. So, Emily, I'll let you take it away.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Joseph. How many of you thought that Joseph gave a bang-up job on just sharing the member benefits? I mean, if you could just give a little shout out over to Joseph there, Jolette. And, I remember when I first met Joseph and I saw him present, and one of the things that he told me, he said, gosh, I never thought that I would ever be presenting in front of people, let alone be comfortable enough to be able to speak anywhere. And just to watch, how he's improved over the years. And it just reminds me that anyone can do anything that they want to do if they set their mind to it. And I look at Joseph as that perfect example. I just love his commitment and his passion to the company. Really, really amazing human being. If you've ever gotten a chance to just speak with him, take the time to get to know Joseph, because he's a really awesome person. So, thank you so much, Joseph, for that really kind introduction. For those of you who do not know who I am, my name is Emily, and I'm out here in Hawaii. So it's about 7:24 a.m. my time. There's some really amazing people that are on this call right now that I'm so excited to continue being in partnership with. If you are a guest here, I'm going to share with you something that I am truly excited about. This part of the business is what really motivates me, because the story that I have that I'm going to share with you today is when I first took a look at this type of industry, the direct sales market, the network marketing company type market, industry, whatever you want to call it. I remembered I was like this. I was like, you could not talk to me about anything like that. I was definitely like, I had my hand up and I was like, don't talk to me about that. I remembered I got invited to an event and they didn't tell me what it was about. I got really mad, but here's the thing, you guys, when you truly understand and you're open-minded and you're put against the wall and you're in a position where you have to make a decision. I was that broke single mom. I was that girl that I needed that extra money. I had creditors calling me, right? I had all of these things kind of happening. And I just remembered, like, what is the solution? And I remembered, hey, someone talked to me about network marketing at one point before, and I was super closed. Well, now I'm open because now I'm looking for options. And if what they're telling me is even half true, then this is an amazing opportunity for me, because it meant that I could work my business, my company, the company that I work for full time, and be able to build my business and my legacy part time. One of the challenges for me as a single mom was that I couldn't work another full-time job or another part-time job to make up that income. So I had to be super creative. And I had to figure out, how can I make sure that I'm raising my daughter and that I'm not paying money for someone else to raise my kid? That was a huge incentive for me. And the fact that creditors were calling you was pretty much an incentive as well. So let's talk about what we call the share plan. And this is what has helped not just myself, but many, many other people as well. And so I believe I'm on the right slide here. And what I'm going to do is I need to adjust my screen, because once I have it set on play, my screen doesn't move around. And so I'm going to go ahead and do this. All right. So I know Joseph did an amazing job of talking about, covering the benefits and all the things that come with your membership. The training especially is pretty darn awesome. All the training, the education that you'll get, gold, silver, collectibles, the Sounds Money wallet technology, that's pretty darn awesome to be able to have, right? You have this technology where no one else has. It is a proprietary technology that you're able to have the average household be able to start to win. You have the autosaver plan. There's a lot of us in here in this group right now that never was able to save, and through this autosaver program now has built a savings plan that they would have never imagined they had. And so now let's just talk about like the business side of things, right? And so I remembered, working that job, the job, and I loved it. There was a lot of things I liked about it. I moved up the ranks in the company, ran departments, managed employees, started my own company. But here's what I learned and what the differences are between being an employee, self-employed, a business owner, and an investor. When you're an employee and you're self-employed, you still have to put in the time. You've got to clock in and clock out. So what that means is, in order for me to get paid at my 9 to 5, and there's nothing wrong with the 9 to 5, but in order for me to get paid, that meant I had to clock in. Once I clocked in, that's when the time would start, when I would start getting paid. Well, then the second I was done with work and my shift was over, I had to stop my paycheck, right? And so the income stopped, and it only started when I would start working again based on the employment. And they would only allow you to work certain hours, right? 40 hours a week. Some might be overtime, unless they sucker to you and you into a salaried pay, right? Which I learned early on not to do that. So guys, then the self-employed, I decided, you know what? I didn't want the boss telling me, when I could take my vacation, how much money I was going to be able to earn, what my hours were going to look like. So I decided I wanted to try the self-employment side of things. And that was really great also. But again, the challenge with the self-employed, you guys, is that I had to still clock in and I still had to be able to work. So I thought, how do I make this a little bit smarter? I learned from some mentors, and they taught me this system. And this is what Robert Kiyosaki talks about, the business owner and building a big business, and then being able to create an income, right, where you're generating passive income, which is what he was leading into earlier. So now let's talk about this. You can move into the employee and self-employed section and move over to the passive income side through this business model. And what's really cool, you guys, is that you're not doing this business by yourself. You're doing it for yourself, but you're doing it together with a team of people. And as long as you can collectively work together, you guys, it is a beautiful thing. And you can start leveraging that time freedom. You can start leveraging to be able to get yourself to that point where not only do you have the money to be able to do things that you love, but to be able to build a business, to have the time to spend with the people that you love the most. And that was what's really exciting to me. And so we have what we call a share plan here. It's so simple. How many of you share Starbucks? Show of hands, or maybe drop in the chat if you're able to chat, you guys. How many of you just love to share stuff that you like? Your favorite Starbucks drink, right? Your favorite restaurant, places you like to eat, your favorite cuisine, favorite movie, favorite places you vacation. How many of you just share those really fun things that you love and you just want people to know about it? Because, well, one, you're excited about it, and two, because you want them to share that same experience, especially if they're going to go where you're going to go. If they're going to go to Starbucks and they ask you for a recommendation, what do you tell them, right? You say, hey, I love, me personally, right? I like the vanilla latte, right? Or I love this, whatever. So guys, when you share, what's really cool about this company is allows you to earn points. And there's several ways to be able to do that. When you earn points, those points can actually get translated and converted into a paycheck that allows you the opportunity to get paid. How many of you wouldn't mind, we talked about that expense, right? Like that not everybody has that emergency expense in their bank account. And if something came up, they wouldn't have that kind of money. Who wouldn't mind that every time that you shared, go to Costco or shared, hey, buy this Starbucks drink, that every time that you referred something to someone, that there was an opportunity for you to get paid? Wouldn't you be excited about that? If that's you, drop a yes in the chat. So how do you earn points? Well, a lot of one of them is through retail sales. They basically go to your shop, which is online website. They click, kind of like Amazon, kind of like any shopping cart that you see on the website. They take a look at what items that they like. They click buy, checkout. They don't need a membership to do that. All they do is just simply pay the price that's on the site. Here's the other way that you can earn points as well. We have a monthly auto saver program. Remember, that savings program is what we call an auto saver. What that means is that automatically helps people to save, to be able to generate that savings portfolio. How many of you buy products, right? I've bought products. Well, what happens to products is they go down the drain or they expire. But gold and silver and collectibles will never expire. They will never go to zero. And they will actually have some form of monetary value. So that's super cool. So on top of that, guys, you get points on your auto savers. So while you're saving, you're earning points. That's pretty cool. And we do that as a team. If everyone gets on that monthly auto saver program, it is absolutely powerful. And I'll share with you that a little bit later. We have something called coin drops. This is what we get really excited about. I remember the very first time I ever did a coin drop, like I was super excited. I clicked the button. I luckily got one of those coins. And I was excited because they were rare collectible coins. That meant they were limited edition. There were only a handful of those collectible coins that I was able to get. One of them was the Roman Empire series. I was able to get the first one. It was Julius Caesar. The second one was, I think it was Brutus. And I remember I was so pissed when I missed the Brutus coin because I really wanted that whole collection. Guys, people get passionate about these really cool, rare coins. And remember what Joseph Latin talked about? The 5 main things that people did, the wealthy people did to be able to create or build their wealth or maintain their wealth. One of them is through rare coins. This is what you get. So the other way is also through purchases. So if other team members in your organization, in your team, somewhere that is, somewhere linked to you or your business partners, the company will be able to give you points for purchases that run all the way down your organization or your team. Here's another really great way that you can earn points is, hey, when you share, remember we talked about that, you share your favorite thing, share the knowledge that you've earned. Well, if you go and share 7K membership and someone decides that they want to go ahead and grab a membership and do what you do and follow what the wealthy you do, well, there's points attached to packages that helps people when they enroll. There's other really great benefits that come with that as well that allows them to help get free silver. So now we're going to talk about how you get paid. So all those points that you're able to accumulate, when either of your team 1 or team 2 is able to acquire or amass 500 points on the team 1 and 500 points on your team 2, and that matches, well, guess what? That week, the system registers that your teams have been working. And when your team and yourself have been working, right, the company will then give you a $500 check. And that's just by getting 2 team members on board, just 2. Now we have a new compensation plan where it's built into it, where it's now 250. So you could earn 250 in 1 week. You could change your income potential in just a week, depending on your work ethic, depending on what you want to do, what efforts you want to focus on, and where you want to put your energy, right? But you can do 250 points on one side and 250 points on the other side and get a $250 check that week. That's exactly what happened to me. When I got started that first week that I joined, I was not planning to share this business. I was not planning to tell anybody about this at all. I was just going to pat myself in the back, say, good job, you're a good mama, setting your daughter's future aside, preparing for retirement, diversifying your portfolio, doing all these amazing things, converting your fiat currency into physical, tangible assets, right? Having a portfolio that's different than having money in a savings account that wasn't going to grow. All of those things. I knew that it was a smart thing to do. But then I was like, whoa, I just got blessed with this really great information. Other people need this as well. So I decided that I needed to share because I didn't want to be selfish. And so I thought, okay. So that same night, I just said, hey, can we do a Zoom call just like the one you're on right now? I just want to invite a handful of my friends, and I just want to share with them this information because I want to make sure that I can bless them because I was blessed. So now I got $250 my first week. I got $250 my second week. I got $500 my third week and $1,000 in my fourth week. So yes, you can earn more. If you want to continue earning, you guys, you hit the position of copper. What that means is that you do certain things to be able to help other people win, to be able to hit the position of associate. You help your other team members that are learning and hold their hands and walk them through the process. Well, guess what? The company will then reward you and help you get paid. So now while you're getting that $1,000, a month check or week check, right? You've got other team members that are earning money too. So it's a push-pull system. It's a win-win. You work together, everyone gets paid. It's pretty powerful. And so what you're going to see here, you guys, is as the associate, as I mentioned, you can make anywhere between $250 to $500 on a weekly basis. How many of you agree that there are, and I don't know if you've been in other companies before, how many of you have been in a company before where you would get paid monthly? So what that would mean is you would have a production from the beginning of the month to the end of the month. So if it's 31 days in a month, you had to wait till the 31st. If it was 30 days in a month, you had to wait till the 30th, right? And then whatever you landed at the end of the month and whatever that production was, then the company would wait another 15 days to audit all of your activity. And then they would pay you 15 days later, right? Just to make sure that they're not, taking your money back. Well, this company, you guys, will pay you weekly. So you can change your income just that quick if you wanted to. Now, as an associate, as I mentioned, just one person on your left team, one person on your right team, that's $500 a week. Here's the copper. I don't even know how quickly I hit copper, but whenever that happened, I was able to make $1,000. So it must have been at least by my fourth week of the company, right? So I was able to get, two people that was on my left team and two people on my right team, and helping two of those people, one on my left, one on my right, to hit the position that I just hit. Because guess what? I knew how to do that. So I told them do the same thing because it's a simple duplicatable system. Well, that allows you to then earn about $1,000 per week. Now, does everyone who is a copper earn $1,000 a week? No, because it's based on how you're doing, how you're working, how your team's working as well, right? So it is a collaborative thing. But what about bronze? Maybe you're saying, hey, $1,000 a week is not enough for me. Well, bronze allows you $2,000 per week, depending on how your production works. Silver, I was able to hit the position of silver within my first 90 days. When you hit this position, you guys, you earn a free silver bar. I've been a part of companies where I've earned cars before. I've earned the BMW, I've earned the Cadillacs, right? And I thought, how come this company doesn't have a car program? Well, what I learned is the co-founders are really, really smart. And so what they do is they teach people how to stack assets. So they give you a 100-ounce silver bar to start your asset portfolio. That bar itself is worth about $3,000, which will appreciate over time. Now, I don't know about you, but the cars depreciate. Silver and gold, they'll appreciate, right? And they'll never go to zero and they'll never rust. And if they do, it's still valuable. So guys, at the position of silver, you're able to earn $3,500 per week. And I was able to do this, like I mentioned, within my first 90 days. So that's the silver bar that I was talking about. That's the one you earn. I have mine. It's in my safe. I don't have it out. Sorry, I would show it to you, but it's about like 6 pounds. So I don't carry it around. As a gold, when I was able to hit that position, I was able to do that within my first 6 months. No one does this business alone. So what that meant was there had to be 2 other people in my organization to be able to hit the position of silver. In order for them to do that, I had to help them. And in order for me to get paid, I had to help them as well. And so it's like no one does this by yourself. There's just no way you can win alone. And that's what I love about this. It just means that it has to create some sort of teamwork, some kind of camaraderie, some kind of, synergy where you have to be able to find people that you want to be able to work with and help them win. So as a position of gold, you have the income potential of anywhere upwards of about $7,000 per week. Let me ask you this question. If you could earn an extra $2,000 a week, or even $500 a week, or $700,000 or $7,000 a week, How many of you think that could be life-changing in your household? If you believe that this could change your household, drop a yes in the chat. If you think that this could help a lot of people who are struggling right now financially to be able to get out of debt, to make that car payment, maybe that extra money they needed for mortgage, if you think that this amount of money would be able to help other people bless their favorite charitable organization, do you see that happening here? You can. And we can totally bless people with this information. So go ahead and drop a yes if you can see that it could be life-changing for a lot of people. $10,000 if you hit executive gold per week. Presidential gold can earn anywhere about $12,500 per week, okay? So now, here is the monthly residual income, right? So if people are going on that autosaver, which I highly recommend because now you're helping people save, you're helping them grow their assets, right? If you take a look at this chart here, let's say you have 100 people that are on your team that are on the autosaver that's valued at the 20-point autosaver. If you have 100 team members that is on your left team and 100 team members on your right team, but remember, you didn't do it alone. You did it with a bunch of your team members that went out and shared Starbucks or shared gold and silver. So when you and your team and all the people who are with you are just sharing this information, and you've got 100 team members cumulatively, right, between your teams on either side, that's a $2,000 autosaver check a month, okay? Now, if you want more, if you have 400 team members, again, you take those 100 people, you help them duplicate, right? You have 400 team members on your left and right, that's $8,000 a month. $30,000 a month if you have 1,500, that's super easy to do. Not easy, simple to do, but not easy. So if everyone loves the autosaver because it really is the best and the fastest way to grow that lasting residual income, you guys. Here's what's really cool is it compounds over time. The longer you're in the company, the longer you're in the business, the more people that you're sharing this with, the more that your team members are sharing with, this will help everyone's residual income and their monthly pay and their weekly pays. Here's what's also super crazy, you guys. Did you know that your residual income, because that is required to keep your autosaver on to run your business and accumulate points, that's now a tax write-off? And that's off the record. I want to make sure that you know that I'm not a tax consultant, but if you're using it for marketing purposes and you're using that as your overhead, right? That's your overhead expense to keep your business running. That's a tool that you can use to write off. So now on top of that, right, you've got a savings plan and a write-off. Now, not only do you have the opportunity to be able to gain that lasting residual income where you can get paid week after week after week after week, there's weeks, you guys, some people are getting, 3,000 that week, 7,000 that week. Some weeks are 1,000 or, 500 that week. It just depends on where you're at and where your organization is. But on top of that, you guys, when you go ahead and share and people grab a membership, right? If you go ahead and just grab, let's say here, for example, 7 people, in your organization, that'll be like $1,000 extra on top of your residual income. So there's income potential to build super fast and long-lasting residual income as well, and that all adds up. Guys, it only takes about 5 minutes to be able to join and pick a package, right? Whichever package that you decide on. So there's what we call an annual membership. Comes with all of these really great things, $269, you pay that, and then you don't have to ever renew again until the next year. But it gives you access to be able to do this and to be able to take advantage of the benefits that we have. We also have what we call the Legacy VIP subscription. My renewal is up in November, but what I did was I went ahead and did the VIP subscription now. I did it like a couple weeks ago. And the reason I did that because I saw the value in this particular package. What that meant is that anytime that someone decides to take advantage of the Sounds Money wallet, you get a metal bonus. That's more free silver for you. And so I thought, wow, this is really, really powerful. Get with the person to really understand how that works. But guys, that Legacy VIP subscription, you grab that membership, you pay that one time, and you won't ever have to renew again. So that's beautiful because pretty much you'll have full access to everything that we just talked about today, whether it's the income potential, whether it's the legacy member benefits, whether it's the stack and sell, whether it's the Sound Money wallet technology, whether it's the benefits of the healthcare, whether it's the benefits of 7K Advantage, all of those things come with that VIP subscription. And that's the one that I recommend to most people. We always say, get in where you fit in. So don't feel pressured to do the $599, but if you can afford it, totally well worth it, okay? And get with the person who invited you so we can help you walk through those options to make sure that you're making the best decision for you and your family and what fits your lifestyle right now. And so you can share, you can get points, right, and get paid. So you can help, we'll help you every step of the way. We'll help you build. Now, does that mean that you don't put any effort? No, we have to work together. It's like a relationship. It's a partnership, but we'll help you every step of the way. Remember your why. Think about the things that motivates you to be able to gain that extra income or that time freedom. For me, it was my daughter. For me, it was my family. I remember like standing in front of the counter, trying to get medicine for my daughter. She was on 7 meds because she had heart surgery done when she was 4 years old. And I remember one of her meds out of the 7 was $100. I didn't have $100. I didn't have it in my credit card. I didn't have room for it in my credit card. I didn't have the cash in my bank. In fact, it was probably overdrawn at that time. I had my power cut off, you guys. But I remember thinking to myself at that moment, at that counter, at the pharmacy, I said, I will never be put in this position again where I cannot afford medication for my daughter. And I was so committed that day that not only was it going to help my daughter, but I wanted to help other people who were in the same position that I was in. And so grateful for opportunities like this in this type of company. So remember your why. In the beginning of January, my mom had surgery done, and I was able to be right next to her. She went into the surgery room, and I was able to sleep with her in that hospital room until she was able to come out. I was able to take her from Honolulu, which was a different island than where I live on, put her on a plane and get her here to Kauai to be able to continue her treatments here. Had it not been for that time freedom and preparing myself, you guys, I don't know that my job would have been able to let me take that much time off and to be able to be there with my mom for recovery and still get paid. So really powerful things. Remember your why. We have great trainings, right? 24/7 on your own website. That full training, well worth the membership alone, you guys. We also have live Zoom trainings. As you can see here, no selling necessary, guys. I'm not here to sell anybody anything. I'm here to share. I love what we do. One of the things that I remember thinking about is I could teach people how to make money. I didn't teach people how to make more money and how to duplicate their money and how to make sure they could save more money. So move the way the wealthy move, right? You don't have to explain anything. Get them to, someone who's an expert. That's what I did. When I first got started, I was like, I don't know anything. All I know is a smart thing to do, but I don't know how to explain it. So I got somebody else on that call. I got somebody else to take a look at this information on a live Zoom call or on a 3-way phone call, right? Say, hey, I've got a friend of mine that I just wanted to share this business with, and this thing that I just learned about, I don't know how to explain it. Can you share with them what I just learned and have them do that for you? And man, I did that all day, every day for a long time, right? We also have our Legacy Builders group, which is the biggest group in 7K Metals, right? A lot of eager, willing people. We've got an organization under Tony Hubbard. Tony Hubbard has been with the company since the very beginning. And so here we all want to win together. There's no buyer's remorse, guys. Everyone wins here. So what if you had, bought $100 worth of silver and gold? I won't feel sorry for you, because that $100 in silver and gold has either appreciated an asset or is protecting your money. That money didn't go away. So there is no buyer's remorse, you guys. Nobody can be upset with you if you're selling gold and silver. So I just wanted to say, hey, thank you for the time that you got to spend with us. Thank you to the people who decided to be open-minded enough to take a look at this information. Say thank you to the person who invited you, because you know what? It probably took a lot out of them to be able to just invite you and tell you, hey, take a look at this. So thank them for sharing this and be able to really ask the questions that you need to ask to be able to make a decision. And so guys, you can start building your family legacy through gold and silver today. You can get started right now. The person who invited you can show you how to do that, pick a package and all that fun stuff. Of course, if you have more questions, we can certainly answer them. Really quick income disclosure, right, guys? Everybody gets paid differently based on the efforts that they want to put in. However, there's going to be people like me. When I first started, I just wanted to be a customer and I just wanted to get some gold and silver, and that's freaking A-okay. Do you, right? But just make sure you're hedging against inflation, you're protecting your money, you're converting some of that fiat currency into real money and real wealth, and be able to start creating that retirement account, that savings account, that wealth portfolio, diversifying. Do that. Take advantage of all the benefits. Or you might be the two. You're like, Em, I've got a full-time job, but I wouldn't mind making some spare money. I wouldn't mind being able to have like that extra to be able to save for my next vacation or to prepare for my daughter's birthday party, or to be able to have a savings account that I never had before, to be able to grow my wealth. Maybe, use the money that I have to go buy gold and silver because I'm doing this part-time. So I don't have to dip into my own pocket to buy gold and silver, because that's exactly what happened to me. Or you may be like a lot of the leaders out there who's just eager and hungry to be able to spend time with their family, to have that time freedom, to still be able to pay the bills and create a lifestyle really that will last for generations to come. And if you can take this business seriously and you are 3, we'll run with you, we'll lock arms with you, and we'll work with you. If you want to be a customer, we're not going to put any pressure on you. We'll educate you. We'll be there to support you. We'll be there to answer your questions. If you want to do part-time income, we'll work around your existing schedule. Again, it's a team effort. So I can't help anybody that doesn't want to help themselves. But if you're willing to put in the work, you're willing to invest your time, we're willing to invest in you. And so that's all I got, you guys. I'm going to go ahead and stop sharing my screen right now. And I'm going to go ahead and turn that right over to either Sally, Mary, or Joseph Latin. Thank you so much for your time, you guys.
Okay, guys, we're going to take just a short break here, and we're going to come back for training. What I want you to do, anybody that's already in 7K, invite your team. We want to, get as many people on here as possible. We'll give you some information on how to get started right away and how to grow your team. So I think, Sally, Mary, are you available to play the music while we take a quick break here? And then we'll be
Yes,
right.
I can.
Okay, so right now it's 10:51. Let's take about a 6-minute break. We'll come back about 2 minutes to the hour, 3 minutes to the hour, and we'll get started. Okay.
Tomorrow, this week, this month, this year, long range. So now I know I've given you quite a heavy package to work on: economics, things, and personal growth. That whole package for tomorrow, this week, this month, this year, long range. So here's the formula for setting goals. The first step is work on your goals. And I think I have given you plenty to work on. But you have to work. You see, setting goals is plain hard work. It's sweat and toil and labor. I don't want to kid you. Let's tell it like it is. And this is why a lot of people let it slide. They work hard on their job, but they don't work hard on their future. They let the plans for a better future slide. And the work involved here is making plans for your better future. Making plans, the laborious mental and emotional calisthenics of making plans. And a lot of people let that slide. The guy says, yeah, you work where I work. By the time you fight the traffic all the way home, when you get home, it's late, it's dark. You've got to eat, watch a little TV, and get to bed. You can't sit up half the night, plan. And the poor guy's behind on his house note. He's a good worker. The guy's a hard worker. But he's a poor planner, and he's broke. Remember, it's easy to be broke, but a few simple things, practiced every day, you need never be broke again. So, work on your goals. Make your plans. The second step is write them down. You've got to put your goals on paper. You can't keep this whole project in your head. It will disappear like a puff of smoke. So, write it down. One of the best bits of advice I ever got was, make constant companion of paper and pencil. Get it down. Don't miss anything. A recent article in the sports paper shows John Wooden, super coach of the UCLA Bruins. And incidentally, the Bruins have won 11 out of 12 national collegiate basketball championships, 7 in a row. An incredible record. And an incredible coach, John Wooden. master coach. The article says he was taking notes at a recent coaches convention. Can you imagine John Wooden, master coach, taking notes? Yes, you see, that's how you become master coach. At my recent speech to the Idaho Bankers Convention, I said, gentlemen, master your trade. Now you do that. Write it down and don't miss anything. Now, another reason for writing your goals down, it shows whether or not you're serious. You see, everybody hopes things will get better. Everybody does that. Poor people hope. If hope made you rich, everybody would be wealthy. But I can tell you this now, the future does not get better by hope. It gets better by plan. Unless hope turns into plans and plans into action, it all turns to ashes. My close friend often says, the man who fails to plan is planning to fail. How very true. So don't play the poor man's game. Poor people say, surely somebody will think of something to help us. The president will think of something. The union leaders will come up with something. The bankers and the economists, what are they getting those big salaries for? They're bound to think of something to help us. Surely somebody will think of something. See, that's the way poor people talk. It's called the language of the poor. Whatever you do, don't fall into that trap. Here's the best help anyway. It's self-help. Learn to help yourself. Someone once said, I kept looking around for a helping hand, and I found one at the end of my arm. See, that's the one. And if you find the other one, with both of them, you might get rich. So the best plans are your own plans. Get serious. What if the best brains in the country find a way to lower the interest rate from 10% down to, say, 8%? Are you okay now? Is everything fine? What if the best brains in the country find a way to slow down inflation from, let's say, 6% a year down to 3% a year? Are you okay now? Is everything all right? See, the best brains in the country can work on the economy until it works perfectly, and it will only help your life fractionally. If you want to make major changes, you've got to make those plans. They aren't working out in Washington, D.C. on how to triple your income. Honest. They don't work on the biggies out there. One of the big ones right now is an extra personal deduction on your income tax. But don't get your hopes up. They've got to vote yet. Now, I'm not trying to put that down. I'm trying to put it in perspective. It means this. Everyone else working on your better future will help you fractionally. If you want major changes, you've got to make those plans. And I'll tell you what, if you don't get busy on your better plans for your better future, I'll tell you what, you'll probably always fit into somebody else's plan. And I'll tell you what somebody else may have planned for you. A skinny income, an empty bank account, and a flat purse. Congratulations. You might.
Okay, guys, we're going to jump right into training here. Appreciate you guys sticking around to join us. And, you know, we've got a couple minutes. If you want to send out some last minute text to people, invite them to our training here. We're going to go over a couple important things. And I'm going to jump into a screen share. One of the things that, as I was putting together a training, I came across the slide that for me is, really important. Before I jump into that, though, I'm going to just kind of share with you, the importance of urgency right now. And, I know a lot of times when we get building our business, we look long term and we think about, how we're going to grow over time. But right now, it's really urgent that we kind of step up the pace. And, we see in our presentation that we have some struggles in our economy right now. And I just saw some really alarming numbers this morning that came out by the U.S. Gold Bureau on what's going on with the dollar. Now, right now, there's a 3-year plan to replace the dollar as the global currency. We have countries that are backing their currency by gold again. And if you look at the population of the globe, we're covering well over a third of the population of the globe is in that group already. All right. And so when we see these numbers, we want to do something right away to protect our wealth, to protect our livelihood, because our jobs aren't as secure as, most people think. We've got AI that's replacing a lot of people in different industries across the board. And so right now, it's really important that we build our teams. It's really important that we grow our teams as big as we can, get our income, to a good level, convert as much to gold and silver as we can. Now, in doing that, we have a team here, Legacy Builders, and we've got people like Tony and Emily and Scott and Ray. All these people have a really good understanding of how networking works. And I don't know about you guys, but I came from a non-networking point of view. Okay. I came from traditional businesses. I came from that left side. Now, what we want to do is we want to take advantage of this. We want to take advantage of the knowledge that they have. And this slide here, this is the one I was going to share with you. This is one that I came across that this is important. We can't do this on our own. It's, like a lot of us come from sales backgrounds. I know I did. I came into this, with a lot of sales experience thinking, wow, I'm going to do great. But then I realized this is a whole different industry. It's a whole different approach. There's so many things that we've got to take into consideration. And this chart really sums it up. This right here, I apologize a little bit. I had to blow it up from the photo that I had. But when we look at the prospect and the idea of a three-way, and the three-way can come in the form of a phone call, a three-way Zoom meeting, right? But the idea is you want to edify the expert. Okay, you want to edify the person that you're bringing on the phone, because this is now going to build this trust, respect relationship that's so important. Your friends may trust you, okay, but they don't respect that you know what you're doing when it comes to gold and silver, because you're new in this, right? So use the power of the three-way. Definitely, if you don't have people in your immediate team that you can do through three ways with, reach out to some of the other leaders. A lot of them are willing to help, and you can always find somebody that's there that can help you. Now, what I want to jump into is the training. When we look in our back office, the first thing that we should be doing when we get started with 7K is the training. Okay. These are going to teach you a lot of things that we didn't know about gold and silver. Some of us may already know the basics, but this is going to go into detail. It's going to show you exactly what the value of gold and silver is. You'll set up your own goals. You'll be like, okay, what do I want to buy? What do I want to, what are my goals for the future? And where do I see myself in 5 years or 10 years from now when it comes to the gold and silver? We've got, so many different things in the back office for our training. We've got the collectors training. We've got Business Builder Academy. The weekly corporate updates are back there. Our new wealth strategies in the training, things like this, so take advantage of all the tools 7K gives us. But the one I want to focus on right now is the Wealth System app. Okay, now in the beginning, if you use the app, you may have ran into some problems. There was a little bit of a learning curve on the software, as well as communicating. When you look at the different networks, AT&T and Verizon and all these different things, they all have to communicate with each other to send these videos through. And they've got it down. It works really good now. It's not, like in the beginning, it didn't work that great. Now it really works good. And we can use this to our advantage, because right now we're teaching. The first thing we do is show a preview, right? You want to show that preview before you show the movie. And this is where we can take the Wealth System app and use it. And, the opening screen, hello, get ready for experience growth. When you log in for the first time, you're going to have to set up your 7K username. All right. It's going to be its own unique login for the app, right? You can get the app on Google Play or the Apple Store. So you enter your username, you set up the app so that it links with your account. All right. What's going to happen is the links within the app are going to direct people to your sign up page. It's going to direct people that shows them you as the person that invited them. All right. Now, when you first log in, you're going to see you've got how many people you've added to your database in the app. You're going to see how many times you've shared a link, and then how many times people have clicked on those links. Okay. So you'll be able to keep track of your numbers. You'll know immediately when somebody clicks on a link because you're going to get a notification. It'll say, if I send a video to Emily, it'll say Emily clicked a link. And then as the system updates, it'll tell you how much of the video they watched. If they only watched 10% and then they stopped, you're going to know. If they watched the whole thing and then click the next video, it's going to tell you. It'll give you all your stats and all your updates in there. You keep track of all your contacts. And what the nice thing it is it will sync with your phone contacts as well. So you pull your phone contacts right into the app, and then you can select the ones that you want to send resources to. Okay. So when we look at the different ones, you can select, one at a time. You can select a number of them at a time and add them into the contacts for the Well System app. Because this is your, this list that you're seeing now, this will be what you actually see in your phone contacts. And then when you want it, you don't necessarily have to bring every contact in. You can just go through and pick the ones that you want. If you want to add a contact just, manually, instead of bringing it from your contacts, they have a place where you can do that as well. There's a little plus sign in the upper left corner. You click the plus sign once, it'll show you your address book connections. You click the plus sign again, and now you can enter manually. First name, last name, email, phone number, any notes on the person, how you met, any interactions you may have had. And you can also give them a rating. And the rating is going to help it show up in your analytics as far as who to talk to first. Because if you get somebody that's clicked on a video, you're going to know if they only watched 10% or 50%. You're going to know if they watched 100%. If they've watched 100% and they've clicked onto the next video, this is somebody you want to get a hold of right away, right? You may have already scheduled a follow-up time with them. If you haven't, get back with them as soon as possible. Now, you don't want to make it seem like, hey, I'm stalking you. I just saw you watch the video, that type of thing. Definitely do it in a way that, is ethical and people think, hey, this is a good company. Okay. So when we add the contacts, you then, you've got a tab at the bottom for contacts. You've got to add, for sharing, that's another tab that you can see all your videos. And when you click on share, let's say you just pick a customer or pick a prospect, you click on share, what you're going to see is any activity you've already sent, right? So in this case, this person was given the 7K highlights video and they clicked on the link. Okay. When you share different things, there's a whole bunch of resources in here. Now, some of them you're going to use more than others, but I recommend when we use the process of preview and then movie, what we want to do is use things like the fiat currency video. It's just under 2 minutes. We've got the inflation video, which is another one. It's good. I think it's around 4 minutes. Okay. And another one is the Y7K video. All right. If you've already given them a little bit of information, the Y7K is a great introductory video as well. Now, when you click on share, you're going to see all the different videos in there. The videos have been updated. It has the new enrollment, there's new subscriptions in there. All right. So you can pick whatever video you want to send, and it makes it really simple. You've already got their name and phone number in there. Once you click the video, you have a place where you can click share, and then if you have the name, if you have the phone number and email in there, you get to choose whether you want to email it or send it by text. The preview button is great. You can watch the videos and see exactly what you're going to be sending to the person. All right. And I don't recommend to edit. 7K's done a really good job at putting everything together. And so, I definitely, use that preview, get familiar with what's in each video, because every contact is going to be a little bit different, right? If you've already talked to them about fiat currency, you don't want to send them that video. You want to send them now the inflation video, right? Or if you've talked to them a little bit about 7K already, the why 7K video. But you'll get used to which videos work best as you practice, sending them out to different people. Now, they do have in Spanish as well. Okay, so keep that in mind too. The analytics are really good. You're going to know how many people clicked. It gives you goals to set. They've set 60 in here for ads and shares, 30 for clicks. You can change that. You can put whatever goals you want as far as, to keep track of your numbers. You want to try to keep your engagement rate up. And I'm going to share with you the best way to keep your engagement rate up. Don't just send people videos. Call them up, ask them for permission to send the video, ask them if it's okay. Make sure you have a conversation with them first that says you're going to send this. Do you have time to watch this? And if so, when do you have time to watch this that I can get back to you? Right? Because you always want to schedule a follow-up at the same time. Okay, so you'll see your activity, you see your daily goals, you can change those, you can edit a lot of the stuff in here. And then the next thing I want to cover is 360-degree there. And what I'll do before I do this, if there's any questions on the app, go ahead and drop them in the chat now, and I'll answer any questions that you may have right now. But as you type your questions, or if anybody has questions, 360-degree leader is important. This is one that I always talk about. I've talked about it a number of times in my training. It doesn't matter where you are in the organization. It matters your mindset. It matters how you think about yourself. We need more leaders. So that means more people got to think of themselves as leaders, right? And when we look at the developing your influence from anywhere in the organization, this is what they teach in that book. We apply it to network marketing in 7K Metals. Okay. And it's a really powerful book. I definitely recommend it. It's one of the best from John Maxwell. So I'm going to now, I know I went through this fast. If anybody has any questions, just go ahead and raise your hand or type them in the chat. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop sharing my screen, and I'm going to turn the time over to Emily now. And she's going to share with you some stuff about, from her perspective as far as leadership and things like this. And guys, definitely take notes. Emily is one of the best trainers. She's one of the best business builders. She's got an amazing team. I mean, there's so much that she brings to the table here, and we can take advantage of. So Emily, I'll turn the time over to you.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Joseph. I think that's super important, guys, to just really utilize that tool. That app is super powerful. So if you are not using it, make sure you are. If you don't know how to use it, make sure you learn. One of the key things, and I'm going to share with you something real quick. There's this book that I've been reading. I read a lot of books, and so personal development is super key. But there's these things, a handbook for the rest of your life. And I want to share this. The moment of decision. If you only learn to master one moment in your life, learn to master the moment of decision. We all make choices. That's the easy part. The hard thing about choices is living with them. We all have regrets. We all have said and done things that we could do differently if we could go back in time. We know that we can't, right? We have all said and done things that we would have done differently if we could go back in time. And because we know we can't, we may have made peace with those choices to some extent, but still in quiet hours, sometimes they haunt us. If I could give only one piece of advice, it would be this: make choices that are easy to live with. Make choices that you can look back on longingly, like you do upon the rest of the best times of your best friends. Life is choices. We're constantly making them, but are you choosing wisely? We are not born as great decision makers. It is something that must be learned. And so how do you learn is through coaching, training, mentorship, books, people who've already had success, people like the Ray Pattersons of the world, who I will bring on a little bit later. But guys, if you take a look at the people who have been the most successful and the people who've won a lot, what you're looking at and the most highly effective people are the people who listen more than they speak. Obviously, I'm speaking a lot right now because I'm doing the training. But when we're on one-on-one, the person who wins the most is the one who's listening. And you're having that listening ear. And you're trying to find out, you guys. And in fact, can you do me a favor? If you guys are in a position to like turn your cameras on, I would love to see some faces. I don't want to feel like I'm talking to myself. And I really want to see your eyes, and I want to see that you are present and that you are here, and that you're in this moment, because these are the little decisions that you make. Your presence is super important. It's either the meeting needs you or you need the meeting. And so thank you for doing that. So guys, when you make decisions and when you think about things that you decide on, think about what benefits everyone here. Haha, I'm here, Stephen Nash, that's funny. But guys, listen more than you speak, especially when you're talking to people. Have those conversations and let them talk. Because I tell you what's going to happen. When you let them talk, they're going to tell you about their life. They're going to tell you about the things that they maybe are coming across challenges with. What is it in their life that they want to make a little bit differently? What is it in their life that they're doing right now that's not working for them? Maybe they're looking for a way out, but we're not listening because we're too busy speaking. So be more interested in the person that you're speaking to than trying to pretend like you're trying to be an interesting person. I'm okay with nobody knowing who I am, meaning like, I don't care. If you ever look at my Facebook page, you'll never see me posting a lot of things about my personal life, maybe my travels, when we go to events, maybe things like that. But a lot of the intimate moments in my life are not shared publicly. Those are the things that I share intimately with people. And so have those intimate conversations with people, because what you'll find is there's going to be opportunities in there for you to say, wow, I might actually have a solution to this. And you're not going to go over there going, I got a solution to your problem. You got to listen to me. It's like, no, just me, man, I feel you. I've been there. Or maybe I cannot relate. But guess what? You know what? Life is pretty amazing. And when you have time, and when things are better for you, let's have a conversation. There is something that my mentor taught me that I would love to share with you, and set another time for that. But use that moment to be present with them and to be their friend. And then set an appointment for another time where you can just present the opportunity. Don't slam 7K down their throat the first time you talk to them. Build the rapport and build that friendship. So I'm going to leave that part there. Now we're going to get into some logistics. I'm going to share my screen real quick. All right, so we've got some really cool new things going on, and I'm just going to briefly share this with you. We've got some new starter packages. So I want you to make sure that you're super educated in all of these things, because this is important to your business. So if someone starts in that $599, that's 150 points. The new points for $269 is 50. The $149 is 20. So remember this, legacy, we don't use the word lifetime because the company doesn't, if according to the FTC regulations, we can't say that. However, what we can say is we have a legacy VIP package where you get your first enrollment, right? You get your first enrollment and then you never have to ever renew again. So that's the language we want to be able to use, right? You can use alternative language, but that's the one I like to use. So that's the legacy VIP package. It gives you unlimited access to everything that you have for the life of the business, right? $269 allows them to be able to open the doors, to be able to have their business running. But this is an annual membership. So in another year, they'll have to come up with another $269. So as you can see, the value on that $599, if they can afford it, would be the best, because they won't ever have to pay that ever again. Now, the $149 is what I call a monthly plan. So we've got the legacy plan, we've got the yearly plan, now we've got the monthly plan. That $149, you guys, they have to stay on the autosaver on that plan. The second that they decide to shut off that autosaver and they want to restart, they actually have to pay that $149 again to be able to have member benefits, okay? So keep that in mind. Now, what's really good, again, don't force anyone down their throats on the $599 if they cannot afford it, or even the $269. If $149 is absolutely all that they can afford, right? I'll tell you this, help them earn money to be able to get the VIP or the legacy package, right? Help them accumulate some cash over time. do that. Here's another thing too. When I first got introduced to the network marketing space or the direct sales industry, you guys, I always went with a big package, even when I was broke. I'll tell you why. Because you have to be that example. If you're telling people go get the $5.99 and you get the $149, and then you tell them that they need to grab the $149, we'll bat on you for not being that example, right? And even though, and I say this when I cannot afford the $5.99, right? You get really creative when you're really willing and you're willing to put the work in. Or if you're willing to be creative, you will figure out how to come up with that $5.99. But that's on you, and that's on the person. And that's how you know. That's how you know when you find someone that says, hey, I can't even afford the $149. I want the $5.99, but you know what? I'm going to figure something out because I need to make a change in my life. Those are the people that you run with. Okay. So anyways, these are the 3 packages. These are the points that come with that. I briefly explained that. Here's another thing. So these are the 3 packages. As you can see, make sure now when they sign up, they have to sign up on an autosaver. They have to pick a package. What's really great about the autosavers, guys, is when they set up the autosavers on the front end, they got 100 loyalty points to start off. Now with those loyalty points, you can get even a ½ ounce of silver with 200 loyalty points. So it'll allow them to start getting free silver pretty darn quick by setting up that autosaver. Here's a plan comparison. We can review that a little bit later, but here's what I wanted to point out. The new money metal bonus. Every metal bonus, if you're on that legacy package, that $5.99, anytime someone buys or purchases Sounds Money wallet assets, you guys, you get 1% of your personal enrollments in that asset class. So if they go buy silver or gold, in the form of either the eagles or the bars, or silver eagles or the bars, you will get 1% of the metal bonus in that asset class in your Sound Money wallet. So you're going to have to activate that though, because it's not set up for you automatically. So if you are on that legacy package, there's a step that you can do. Let me show this another screen that I'm going to pull up right now. So what you're going to do is if you are on that legacy package, let's see, let me get this to present. If you are on that legacy package, make sure you log into your Sound.money. This is the Sound Money wallet site that you can log into to access your assets. Go to the settings. If you can see on the top right hand, there's a little circle with the arrow pointing there. Click on settings, whether it's on your phone or on your computer. Click on settings. Make sure you click to agree the terms and conditions. The reason they're going to ask you to agree to that is because there's going to be some kind of disbursement of payment in the form of gold or silver, right? So we have to claim that. So make sure that you go into the settings, accept that, and let them know that you understand the terms and conditions. And then you can go ahead and start, like, buying your assets, right? So anytime any of my team members who are direct to me or personal to me, because I now already upgraded to that legacy VIP package, anytime they buy asset classes in the silver eagles, gold eagles, silver bars, or gold bars, you guys, I'll get 1%. You can do that too if you're on that legacy VIP package. Can you upgrade? Yes. Call customer service if you need to do that. They'll give you a 90-day window from the time you either got started, if you had started before the package, or moving forward. So just ask your leader, how do you do that? How do you upgrade if you need to? And if you want to do it now versus when you're ready to renew, go ahead and have that conversation. So I wanted to share with you how with this company, you guys, we are with the right, make sure you're with the right person, of course, but right person, right time, right company. Remember I talked about network marketing in the past and how I was like, you know what, like I never wanted to do this thing. I was like nope, not me. Oh, not again, network marketing. That was me, you guys. I was that person, right? But once I really, truly understand how this industry works and how powerful it is and how much we can really leverage a lot of people, you guys, and really help a lot of people, and I understood this, it became a super powerful tool, not just for me, but for people just like me who just wanted something different. And so I'm going to share this with you real quick. One of the first businesses that I ever built, I asked myself this question: can I do this? And so when you're inviting someone to take a look at this business, you have to ask yourself, when I'm asking them to take a look at this, are they thinking when they see me, can I do this? This is what I love about this industry. You can be, and what I love about our company, our founder said, this is designed and built for the non-network marketer. What that means is for the people who've never really done this before, maybe never really had success before. And I'm seeing a lot of people who may not have had success in the past in another company, having success and getting the first $250 check where they never made a check before. So when you are inviting people, make sure that when you're doing that, are they thinking, I can do that? So I have Nita, you see this name here. This is one of the girls that was one of my mentors, like in another company way back when. And she was presenting. Her English wasn't that great. She was out there. She was like in front of the stage. And I remember looking at her. She was not perfect. She was not super eloquent, right? But she was brave. And she delivered a message. And I remembered when I saw her, you guys, I said, wow, if she is brave enough to do that, then I can too. And sometimes we feel like we have to be so perfect. We have to be the Joseph Latins and the Ray Pattersons and the Chris Latins and the Tony Hubbards to present, and that they're gifted enough and that you can't. But it's not true. You can too. We all just have to start somewhere. What's also really effective, you guys, is one-on-ones. How many of you love conversations where it's one-to-one, those intimate conversations? I love them. Now, first choice is belly to belly, front forward facing. The other way is on Zoom. That's why I love seeing your faces. I want to see your faces, right? Because now we're connecting, we're talking, I'm seeing you, you see me. That personal connection is huge. Text messages are fine, voice messages are great, but man, that intimate connection is the best. So if you can get people in front of the information face to face, that would be the best. Obviously, the fastest and the next best thing is Zoom. So get them on a Zoom if you can. If not, a phone call is way better than a text message. When I was deciding to run for silver or gold, I picked up the phone. I said, hey, friend, there's something I want you to take a look at. Are you free right now? If I was free that moment, right? Because I was making my calls. And if not, I was like, hey, when are you free? I'd love to share this with you. And if they asked me that question, well, what is it? It's like, man, I would tell you, but I'm super busy right now. I can't really explain it. And even if I did, and even if I could, I wouldn't do a very good job because it's 9% visual. Can you jump on a Zoom with me? So get that personal face-to-face conversation. Then once they get started, you guys, draw out a plan. This is what Nita did for me. She drew out my plan. She pulled out a piece of paper. She drew some circles. And she's like, Emily, this is what you need to do. And back then she drew the circles. I still do that today. I still draw circles on my comp plans, right? Show them people the income potential based on what their goals are. Set those goals, collaborate with them, and then duplicate that process. So I'm going to share with you a little bit of my network marketing journey. I've been in a couple other companies. There's been in between companies, but there was one in particular that I joined that was a telecommunications utility company. That was where I met my first real mentor. One of the challenges that I had in that particular company was you had to sell, and I couldn't sell. And I couldn't teach people how to sell a video phone or a cell phone or a package, right? Maybe I could do it, but not everybody could. Technology was kind of crazy for some people, right? Just to learn how to navigate through that. So it was a hard build and it was a tough compensation plan, but I learned a ton. So one of the things you'll find, you guys, is that learn through your mistakes and learn through those lessons. There's always the benefit to everything. To the second company that I was with that I had success, you guys. So the first company I had some success. It was kind of, I did okay, but I wasn't super okay. I was kind of in that middle ground where I just did enough to be able to get some recognition, but I was not a top performer. And then in that other company that I joined afterwards, and there was a big gap in between because I was just done with network marketing. I went back to the corporate world. I ended up coming across this shake and weight loss company. And the reason I ended up joining that was I came in as a customer. And there seems to be a trend with customers for me. I always start as a customer and I end up promoting. But when I started doing that weight loss company, you guys, I was losing weight. And so people were asking me questions. I still didn't start. I was trying to refer it to my friend. Finally, I got started. Anyways, long story short, I got into the business. I did earn a BMW with that company. So I was a car earner there. And I had about 20 team members in my organization that were car earners as well, BMW car earners. What I found though, even with that many people in my organization, the residual income was super low. I saw my very first residual check, you guys, and I'm like, what is this? All that work, and that's what my residual checks look like. And so what I started thinking about was you had to keep working hard to get paid. You had to keep recruiting to get paid. And that was like, they make you work. And so what happens then, you guys, is that burnout syndrome starts to happen because you're constantly working and the attrition rate was kind of low. And I'll tell you why. What happens when people lose the weight? They stop getting off the shakes. What also happens to people when they don't see results? What happens when that happens? They stop taking the shakes, right? And so when I thought about network marketing, and one of the things that my mentor taught me is the residual income is the key part of your business. That is what's going to keep you going. And so if your residual income is super low, not very many people can build thousands upon thousands upon thousands of people to build that kind of residual income that is long lasting, that will allow you to have that time freedom that we truly long. That's the whole journey in network marketing, right? So when you have that low residual income, it's super crazy. It's really hard to do. And so you want a company where you have a higher residual income and a higher attrition rate. And the other company that I joined before 7K, you guys, was a women in business beauty and wellness company. Great company, 95% women, maybe 99% women. Now, there's nothing wrong with women. I love women. I am a female. I love you all. But what happens with women is sometimes they get a little catty and they're in competition with each other. Let's just face it, it does happen, especially in the beauty and wellness industry. But here's the other thing, you guys, though. What I noticed about that particular company is there was less diversity if it's primarily women. So whatever happens to the men, right? Age groups, different categories. So I love what we do here. So with that company also, I noticed that there was a lot of big upfront bonuses, meaning like fast start bonuses, all of these bonuses. Well, what happens again is on the back end, your next check after all of those fast start bonuses are gone, you're like, holy cow, like how come my check dropped here? Because now they put you out of those fast start bonuses. And then now you're working to build that residual income and you're kind of going, whoa, and you're so used to getting those big checks up front. You're wondering what's going on with your compensation plan. So guys, this company does things right. So this company that we're talking about, of course, is 7K Metals. You know what's really great is your money is being directed into an automated savings plan. So your money doesn't go anywhere. Your overhead cost is actually your write-off. It's your hard asset. 7K gives you free gold and silver with that metal bonus that we now have. You have financial education. There's a lot of network marketers that I know in the past that have lost money and don't know how to make money. We have really smart co-founders and we have great corporate support, right? On the top, you see the top left-hand corner, those are products. Those go down the drain. Those have an expiration date. Gold and silver will appreciate an asset and they'll never go bad, right? If you were to put stuff in your garage, would you rather have products that expire, that have a shelf life, products that go down the drain, or something that is an asset class that will last you for generations to come and have the potential to be far beyond what you've put into, right? I don't know about you, but I like the gold and silver. Okay, and so guys, set some goals. Depends on where, if you're new, what's important to you? Is earning that 1 ounce silver bar and getting to copper important to you? Is it earning that rusty lantern, in 30 days to get that MS70 rusty lantern coin? Or are you still in your 90 days? Can you go get that silver bar and wrap up that rank? Go for it. For those of you who have been in the business a little bit longer, think about what is more important to you. Is it your next rank? Or what does that monthly income look like for you? So make that decision. But guys, that's all I've got to share. I don't want to take up any more of your time because we've got a wonderful gentleman that's going to be able to speak. He's far more educated than I am when it comes to the gold and silver space and acquiring assets and being able to develop and build a really deep wealth portfolio. This gentleman is someone that I've grown to love and admire. He's become one of my mentors as well. He is definitely someone that is super knowledgeable in a lot of different areas here. And so I'm going to bring upon one of my really great friends and wonderful mentors, Mr. Ray Patterson. Mr. Ray Patterson, are you there?
Good morning, Emily. Let's see, we got audio. Let's see. There we go. There we go. Okay. How are you, young lady? Give me 1 minute.
I gotcha.
Hang on here. Why isn't this thing? Oh, shoot. Bear with me. I'm sorry, folks. Why isn't this? Here we go. Let me pull this up. All right. So Emily, you can hear me and see me, correct?
Loud and clear, Mr. Ray Patterson.
All right. I've got my script up here. Let me adjust it for my eyes. Okay, folks. Glad to see everybody on here today. Today I want to spend just a few minutes with you. I want to present to you, in my words, an analytical and practical approach to achieving personal success. Okay, today I want to share with you my analytical and practical approach to personal success as someone who made it to the right side of Robert Kiyosaki's cash flow quadrant. I'm very blessed and grateful. Today, I'm a business owner. That's the upper right side of the cash flow quadrant, and an investor, the lower right side of the cash flow quadrant. By being in both quadrants, I make active income and passive income. How I got here took a lot of work. It took a lot of trial and error. Don't let that scare you. All of this takes a lot of work. You will have ups and downs, trials and errors. Don't let that bother you. It's just going to make you stronger. It took me years to get to the point where I was having more wins than losses. The reason for this, in part, was because I never had truthful financial mentors until later in my life. I was forced early on to figure it all out for myself, what worked and what didn't. Please listen carefully and take copious notes of what I'm about to say. You'll have the opportunity to ask me any related questions on this topic once I'm finished. Within my career, I've experienced the highs and lows of succeeding and losing, all of which is why my journey has made me more resilient, more focused, and smarter. Within this process, I began to understand the 4 primary things you need to succeed. You're going to want to write these down. That is drive, determination, sacrifice, and consistency. Okay. Growing up relatively poor provided me with the impetus to develop the drive. Makes sense, right? And within that, I developed the determination. Okay, so being poor, that led me to the drive. Okay, and from within that drive, I developed the determination. The two kind of go hand in hand. That's when I began to learn the importance of sacrifice and what that truly was, but I had yet to understand the real meaning of the 4th one, consistency. Once I did, however, that's when things began to change for me. The wins finally outpaced the losses. The speculation side, that's where your losses inevitably come from. They turned into strategic tactics. That's where your wins come from. Once I learned that piece of the equation, I've never looked back. Over this now 30-year journey, I have finally reached the point of being able to cash out and go home, as it were. Part of getting there was implementing Robert Kiyosaki's methodology of paying yourself first. You'll learn about that in Robert's first book, Rich Dad, Poor Dad. He also touches on some of that in the cash flow quadrant. 2 of those books you must have, you must read. It was adding this very important piece of his teachings that made everything I did more impactful. And that taught me an invaluable lesson, and that is this. If you don't invest in yourself each and every month as you are making your way to the top, you'll never truly have financial freedom. And that right there lies the difference between true success and always struggling. Today, as I reflect upon my journey of these past 30 years, I have come to realize the differences between the mistakes I made and the successes that I've had. I realize that determination, drive, and sacrifice, as important as they pale in comparison to being consistent. Now, no one can teach you how to motivate yourself. No one can teach you drive, determination, and sacrifice. You're going to have to figure that out on your own. But you have to have a burning desire regarding those things and a willingness to do something about these things. But you can be taught to be consistent. If you can achieve the drive, the determination, and the sacrifice, when coupled with consistency, nothing, and I mean nothing, can stop you. For me, within those reflections, I can truthfully state who and what influenced me through my journey. One of those influences later on in my journey was, guess who? Tony Hubbard. He, more than anyone, has taught me what it means to be consistent. Up until a few years ago, that was the piece of my own equation. It had eluded me. I'm a big believer that things happen for a reason. There was a reason that Tony and I met many years ago. There are very valid reasons his mentorship has helped me. Tony has taught me things about the power of being consistent. Quite frankly, in my humble opinion, no one does it better. Within that revelation, I can see the results. I see them all around me every day now. I can prove to you how learning to be consistent can directly affect your bottom line. And those results end up in a higher net worth, which gets you to the other side of the cash flow quadrant. What else Tony taught me was that once you learn these valuable traits, it empowers you to teach others. In the military, I was taught that a leader never quits. He simply adapts and overcomes. A leader understands that with the accumulation of money, if you want to keep it, you have to know how to protect it. That's part of what I do with my primary company. That too can be taught, and I do it, quite frankly, every day with my clients. When you do accomplish these things, it becomes incumbent to pay it forward. This lesson I never fully realized until later in life. Before that, I was too busy making it to think about paying it forward. But once I figured that out, my life began to truly change. And within that, I began to understand the importance of that word called balance. Ever since joining 7K over 5 years ago now, for those who seek to get to the right side of the quadrant, I've been able to pay it forward by helping some of those people learn how to better invest in themselves and how to keep what they make and how to protect those assets. Many of those people have taken the time to get real and truthful financial education. A lot of those people have never had any financial education until they learned about all of this that we talk about every week. Some have gone to my website. I would encourage you to do that. And what we offer there, which, by the way, that education is completely and totally free. You don't have to pay for anything. There's a lot of wonderful information on there too. It quite frankly, it may take you a couple of days to go through everything that's on there between the reading and the videos I've got posted up there. And here over the next couple of weeks, we're going to update it again because the fluidity of what's going on out there with the banks, the markets, and all of that, this is information that I feel that you must know and understand. And you can always go there anytime you want by simply going to oceandrivecapital.net. That's oceandrivecapital.net. Okay. Conversely, I've watched those that are not paying attention. That last statement is the part that truly concerns me. If I can accomplish what I have, why can't others? I've asked myself that often. That answer lies in the following 3 words: indoctrination, procrastination, and fear. Let's break that down real quick. Indoctrination is taught. We get it from the schools, we get it from our politicians, we get it from the medical community, we get it all. It's all indoctrination. It's those people at the top that want to do everything they can to control us. It is only allowed to manifest in one's mind if that person's mind is already weak. Don't be one of those people. Procrastination, now that's a mindset. It usually manifests itself within people who tend to be lazy, which unfortunately is growing into a much larger problem in today's society. Then there's fear. Fear in most cases is actually false evidence appearing real. So if you fear anything, you need to think about that last piece. Is it real fear, or is it false evidence that appears real? All 3 of these I delve into much more deeply in my upcoming book. If I had not read all of the books I have read, if I had not done all of the research to prove my theories, if I had not learned through this journey to ask questions and make it a point to seek out and speak with other mentors, I would have never figured out how all of this works. It is through the power of relationships and interaction, just like Emily touched on, that makes this journey easier. It's the showing up and being consistent that matters. And within all of that, it is remaining teachable and coachable that matters. John Maxwell wrote in a book entitled Everyone Communicates, Few Connect. Right here. Okay. That's what the book looks like. You need to get it. Okay. Another book he wrote is the 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership. If you truly want to build a business and succeed in your business, read these books. Joe put up the book 360 Degrees. You needed to add that one as well. If you do all of these things, paying it forward naturally occurs through osmosis. If you're a true leader, you'll automatically want to pay it forward. It feels good. It is for these many reasons that Tony and I established Legacy Builders Global. My role in all of this is much different than Tony's. He is exceptionally good at what he does. I don't think there's anybody on here that would disagree with that. And I am I'm very, very good at what I do within my areas that I specialize in. That balance is finally starting to reveal itself. Legacy Builders Global, it's in its infancy. Tony, myself, and the leaders you see and hear each week on here, we have all got an investment in the time we spend here every week. We don't get paid for our time for being here, and neither do you. But if we show up and we present well, you benefit in return. Look at what you heard from Joe today. Look at what you heard from Emily today. Those presentations were they were off the chain wonderful. Okay, now, if you show up and present well, you benefit in return. we can teach you certain things and teach them well. Then at the minimum, you should be able to get with your team members and most certainly your prospects and get them to these presentations. That is where you need to be focusing. This whole fake it till you make it, horse hockey. Okay. Now, 4 questions. We're going to wrap it up. There are 4 questions you need to ask yourself. Write these down. Number 1, are you getting value in coming here at least once a week? Number 2, are these presentations helping you to build your team? Number 3, are you learning the real and true value of owning precious metals? And number 4, lastly, are you learning the right information to help yourself get to the right side of Robert's quadrant? So 4 simple questions. If you can answer yes to those questions, then congratulations. You're one step closer to achieving personal wealth and success. If you can't answer yes to those 4 questions, I highly suggest you pay closer attention, increase the frequency you come here, and ask yourself what is missing in your own mindset for you to understand the real truth behind these 4 questions. If you cannot honestly answer yes to these 4 questions, then please reach out to one or more of us until you do get those answers that make sense to you, whether that be myself, whether that be Emily, Tony, all of the other leaders that we have within Legacy Builders. Okay, just reach out to them. I hope that this first part of my presentation has given you some valuable insight on achieving your own personal success. More on all of this next Saturday. Remember, you can always ask me questions through my website by simply going to oceandrivecapital.net, clicking the Contact Us tab, and asking your related questions there. Okay, Joseph, Emily, right now, if anyone on here would like to ask me anything specific to what I just went over, please raise your digital hand and we'll make that happen. I do appreciate it. Any questions, anybody? Okay, I see some great comments. Oh, these
Great
were
information, right?
okay, Joe. I'm sorry I didn't hear that.
I say great information. Thank you.
Well, you were most welcome, and I hope Arizona is doing you well today. Emily, I know you're out in Hawaii. It's early out there. What is it? Pushing 9 o'clock in the morning out there in Hawaii, I believe.
Yes, and I have my team training in about 7 minutes, but it looks like Nash is
Okay,
in
so
his
let's
hand.
wrap it up. Let's wrap it up. So
Go ahead,
hopefully,
Nash.
Uncle Ray.
oh, I recognize that voice. Is that is that my wonderful bud, Mr. Nash?
Yes, it is, Uncle
How
Ray.
you doing, Stephen? Great to
I'm
hear
good,
from you.
brother. You too. So I had to jump off. What were those 4 questions? I'm sure I'm on the right side of this, but I think someone else actually asked the same question too. So what were those?
Be glad. Be glad. Hang on 1 second. I'll pull them back up.
Okay.
You know, Stephen, you get to be my age, you have to have paper.
I love paper. I still love writing stuff.
Now let's go over those 4 questions again real quick. All right, number 1, are you getting value in coming here at least once a week? That's number 1.
Got it.
Number 2, are these presentations helping you to build your team? Okay. 3, are you learning the real and true value of owning precious metals?
Got it.
Now, Stephen, you have hit that one really hard, and which is wonderful, and I'm very happy for you. The
I
last
appreciate
question: are you learning the right information to help get yourself to the right side of Robert's cash flow quadrant? Okay, does everybody get those?
That's good.
Okay, that's it.
Nice. All right. That's good. Oh, that's good, Uncle Ray. I got that. Good deal. Appreciate you. It's always a pleasure.
Well,
It is.
if nothing else, I plan to see you at Bell Zone in Vegas in May.
Yes, sir. Absolutely. Booked and locked and ready to go.
Okay. Anybody else? I'm here. If I can ask anything, please put it in the chat.
That
Raise
was an
your
awesome
hand.
training, Ray. That was fire. You were on today. You
Well,
were
Manuel, I
on.
appreciate that. And I got the back end of that. We're gonna, it won't be quite as long as today. But the back end of what I discussed, I'll be presenting that next Saturday. Okay.
Perfect.
So I'm glad to see everybody on here again. Anything that any of the leaders can do for you, don't think about it. Don't hesitate. Just do it and ask away, and we'll do anything that we can for you. That you have my solemn promise on. Okay. Thank you so much, folks. I'm going to turn it back to Emily. Joe, thank you, brother. And see you guys soon.
Thank you. I appreciate you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Have a great day, guys. I've got to actually hop on for my team training. I was actually just helping out with Tony today. As always, we just always love to support and help each other. Thankfully, now that the trainings are not as early as it used to be, I can actually be on this one. Now it's not, oh God o'clock. It's, oh, okay, I can get coffee o'clock. But thanks, guys. Love you guys a ton. You guys are awesome. Go make things happen. Today is Saturday. Take a look at your back office. See what's going on in there. Make sure you're helping other people get a check. So thanks so much, everyone. Have a wonderful Saturday. Take care. Blessings.
Hey, guys. And remember to Monday through Friday, we're going to have our webinars, 8 p.m. Invite people, at least have 2 people on there every week. And by the end of the week, you're going to see your team grow. So have a great weekend, everybody. We'll see you on Monday.
Bye, everyone.